This book is a complete fucking lie. And what the fuck? The hell am I wearing? What the? Huh. I suppose I do look ridiculous. Oh well, if I'm gonna trash this shitty book, might as well do it in style. Right, if you're planning to buy this book from a Barnes and Noble or some shit, just know that this is not a Spider-Man book, bro. No matter how much it looks cool on the cover, fucking Miles is doing his thing. This whole book is fucking boring, dude. It's not a Spider-Man book. I think I got ripped off by this. I won this at a library for reading a bunch of books. Apparently they had a contest or some shit. And I picked this because I like Miles Morales. Contrary to his upbringing, he's not really a tokenized character. I think he's moving away from that. He's becoming his own character. But other than that, I picked this book out from the library. I own this now. And genuinely, I could have bought another book, bro. I remember leaving a review for this book online. I'll show it to you right now. But look at this shit is fucking. This is clickbait. If it had 123 pages, bro. This whole book is like a YouTube thumbnail that has nothing to do with the thumbnail. This shit pisses me off to no end because this book, it's not a Spider-Man book. There's no Kingpin, there's no Prowler, there's no fucking Big Willie. It's a fucking YA novel. It's basically just Dear White People. That's basically how I could describe it. It's Dear White People. But before I rage on, before I tear this book to shreds, metaphorically anyway, because I'm not going to let this book go to waste. Let me show you the review I left. Here it is, people. DH Universe. This is my review. Pause it if you want to read it, but hold up. Alright, now y'all can pause it. This is an actual review that I left for the book online. And basically, it kind of sums up how I feel about this. Dude, let me tell you. This book genuinely had potential. It starts off with a pretty wholesome... It starts off pretty wholesome for the most part. It starts, of course, a book like this, it would not be a black YA book if it didn't start with some cringe as quote at the beginning, fucking, I don't even know what that means. I don't even know who the fuck Paul Lawrence Dunbar is, nor do I care. But anyway, let's dive into it. No disrespect towards him. Anyway, it starts off pretty wholesomely, with the Morales family. They're just sitting at the family. Jeff, Rio, Miles, they're just setting up dinner. It's not a black. If you ever grew up in a black setting, you knew about Sunday dinner, bro, and that shit was good as hell. But it starts off with Sunday dinner. I think Miles is talking about how he got suspended from school. He's talking about his racist ass teacher, Mr. Chamberlain. I'm not fucking joking. I'm not even that's not even an exaggeration on my part. This dude solely exists just to be a dick to Miles and say mildly racist things. But they bring up the Daily Bugle in this chapter. It tells you about how Miles left school. He didn't even make up an excuse. He just walked out of class and suited up to fight crime, and now he's suspended. There's so much plot holes in that, man. There's so many plot holes with that. Okay, how the fuck did the security not stop him? Or any hall monitors? And this isn't any fucking public school. Doesn't Miles go to some Doesn't Miles go to like a private school or something? Visions with Genki? But anyway, yeah, it goes on. Miles has he's talking with his dad and something. Now, I'm gonna just explain to you the plot holes because Spoilers, if you want to read this shit, you're not missing nothing. Anyway, there are several plot points in this book that go absolutely fucking nowhere. You got the racist teacher, Mr. Chamberlain. He is based off of this obscure character who's not even a Spider-Man villain, by the way. Yeah, Vulture, Mysterio, Electro, Venom, literally any fucking Spider-Man villain that comes to mind when you think of Spider-Man. They're not. That's all there. They're all absent, I guess. And come on, bro. You don't even have to take Peter's villains. I know plenty of Spider-Man villains that Miles could have, like the superior foes. The superior foes of Spider-Man in them. They could be great foes for Miles. They could be kind of like the Rogues from DC, but off topic. What was I? Oh yeah, the plot points. You got that shit going on. Miles is racist ass teacher. You got the chick that Miles has a crush on because fuck Barbara Rodriguez, Spaulding, like the Vulture's daughter that he's dating in the recent comics, or fucking Gwen Stacy for that matter, Spider-Gwen. You know, Miles' main squeeze, the chick that he's gonna hook up with across the Spider-Verse. Guess she's not a thing. No, all of those chicks of Miles Morales, all those love interests from the comics, they're replaced by this bland one-dimensional character called Alicia, who's like a poet, and that's her only character trait. She writes poems, I guess. And there's like this whole plot about how Miles and Genki are like a part of like this fucking they're writing poems, I guess. Yeah, Spider-Man. Yeah, gaze upon glory as a bunch of 19-year-olds write about mushy shit and rip off Shakespeare. Truly something. And there's one more plot point as well. Apparently the Prowler has a son. Aaron Davis has a son in this story who's in prison, who never got brought up ever. He never got I don't know how he got it. We don't know how he got in prison. We don't know, as far as I knew, Aaron Davis, I just thought of him like a bachelor, I guess. Like, the dude never seemed like the type of guy to be just messing with any women out here. He just, wasn't this man like a cat burglar or some shit? Like, what the fuck is he doing? Oh, God. And apparently, that character never gets brought up again. Miles writes notes to him in prison. This is what I mean. This book is not fucking Spider-Man. These are all just plot points that could take place. This is all just side plots that could take place right beside the action. We do not get no action in this story. The only part in this book that we get by is probably when Miles and Genki, they beat these guys at basketball. There's a whole chapter dedicated to these motherfuckers just betting these guys at basketball, at street basketball. What the fuck? I'm legit about to rage right now. This book is a fucking waste of time, bro. And Jason Reynolds, I'm not even surprised. No disrespect to the author, but Spider-Man clearly isn't a character that he needs to write, bro. Because genuinely, this isn't a Spider-Man book. It's not. It only came out just the milk off. This came out after Into the Spider-Verse. And there's nothing it's Spider-Man about it. This is all shit that Peter would do back in the Stan Lee days. Right when he's not fighting crime and shit. This man is just he's just doing Neandering shit. Okay, here it is. Austin Davis. Bro, this character never gets brought up again. And he's 15? Oh my god. This character. And he never just gets this character never gets brought up again. Never gets brought up again. This book wastes too much fucking time trying to be a fucking Spike Lee movie instead of giving us a Spider-Man book. I know Spider-Man fanfics that are better than this. And you know how the book ends? Not with Miles defeating the villain or like the big bad or something. Like his racist teacher. He stands up to his racist teacher. This shit is higher learning with Spider-Man. No, no, no. This movie is the hate you give with Spider-Man characters. Like, genuinely. Except nobody gets shot in it by the police. No, this book is genuinely, like, a waste of time. I don't know how else to put it. It's terrible. And the fact that, like I said earlier, it's clickbait. Like, genuinely, we don't see Miles writing on top of anything. At best, this man helps somebody get their shoes back. He's about as relevant as Phoenix Jones for anybody who remembers that fucking drug dealer. This book is terrible, bro. I'm not even exaggerating. If this was a comic, I would give it less leeway. In fact, I would trash it less if it was a comic. But this is a whole 100 book of word salad about black history. If I wanted to learn about black history, I would watch fucking Dr. Umar. Fuck this shit. I am so pissed off at this. Because, like, Miles as a character deserves better than this. He deserves a far better story than this bullshit. And yeah, that's really all I got to say. This has been the Thought Bubble. Take care of yourselves and each other. All right. Yeah, I'm bald. So what?